What's up, friends? This week is a special episode of Creating Things Together. James and I actually went down to the desert. We had some friends. Their names are the Jurgys, Bryce and Nellie, and their baby Avalyn. They're currently traveling the country in an RV, and you'll hear more about that in the episode. But first, I wanted to say hello if you're new around here. James and I are two creators who currently have a YouTube channel. We travel, we freelance, we try to do as many things as possible, and this is our podcast where we talk about that process. Each Monday, we share a new episode, so if creativity is something you're into, you can subscribe to listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Store. We're pretty much everywhere at this point. So, without further ado, enjoy the episode with our good friends, the Jurgys. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Creating Things Together. Typically, it's just James and I, but James is back here.
We're also not in a rolling house, typically.
Yeah, typically we're not in a rolling house, which is what RV stands for. We are with our friends, Bryce and Nellie. Hi.
Yo.
Hi.
These guys, these guys are the Jurgys, and they are currently rolling around the country in an RV.
Avalyn, by the way.
Well, she doesn't say hi.
She's like an extension of both of us. So
she's here. She's our technical producer for today. She's making sure that nothing goes wrong in the audio or video department. She's making sure everybody gets their coffee and their assorted fruits for eating, if necessary, dolphin-safe donuts, things of that such.
Oh, gosh. You can't go wrong with dolphin-safe
donuts.
what does that mean?
Have you ever heard of people who are like uptight, famous people, and whenever they come into the room or whenever they on their, what's it called, a writer, they say, I want dolphin-safe donuts in my green room. Mm-hmm. You ever heard that?
No.
It's like a joke. I feel like I've heard it maybe three different places.
What does that even mean?
Like, I want donuts, but I want really pretentious donuts.
Yeah.
Like, I want them to be dolphin-safe. I don't want them to hurt the wild animals.
So like very small ones, so they can't trap the dolphins.
Exactly.
Right.
Because if they're big ones, it's a little risky.
They have to be small.
I really want a dolphin, or not dolphin.
I want a
donut.
Yeah. I'd
love to eat a dolphin.
Fills the RV with donuts or dolphins. Or
Next
dolphins
viral
and donuts.
video.
Next viral video.
There you go.
So we've known these guys for about 3 years. I have a very special relationship with Avalyn here because I filmed her birth.
Yeah.
Nellie
when
and I.
she first came into this world.
Yeah. So
And also, Christina has seen my womb and every part of it expand and rip apart and bleed. So
yeah. So it got rowdy, but but yeah. So soon after Avalyn was birthed, they decided to buy an RV and then leave us selfishly, but it's cool. They're currently hiding treasures all over the country, which is pretty neat. Every state. They are in Utah for the time being, and how
many states have you guys achieved so far?
Oh, geez.
We have uploaded 22 states.
Okay.
We
may have been more.
Yeah, we've adventured a little more, so we're a little ahead,
done with
but
over half the states. Let's just say that.
Next is the southeast. No, the south.
All south.
All the south.
Yep.
You guys are gonna sing Song of the South. Sweet potato pie, shut my mouth.
You gotta hide one in a bayou or something like that. Like on an alligator.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Wait,
dolphin safe alligator.
Safe.
Yeah, predators. Wait, alligator safe dolphins.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure dolphins are pretty smart. They could probably figure out a way to kill an alligator. So yeah, alligator safe dolphins are a necessity.
No, because dolphins are pretty squishy.
They are squishy, but
and alligators are not.
I hear they're pretty good if you get them into a group.
So our treasures are not alligators.
Or it is the dolphins creating together.
Yeah. So typically we talk about the creative process, and this week we're talking about dolphins and babies and wombs.
Well, that's very creative if you think about it.
Dolphins.
Baby safe dolphins.
The creation of a baby is...
Yeah, so tell us, how did you create that together?
Well, when a man and a woman...
Get on Google and you research...
Where to find a stork.
Yeah.
Stork.
And what types of infants you want. And
the dark web.
The best. No, she actually turned out really well.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
You guys did a great job organizing your DNAs and stuff. That's a cute kid.
She's pretty dang cute. A little messy, but all good. Anyway.
Yeah. So,
yes.
Hi.
So, what made you guys first off decide to get an RV? If you guys are watching, or you guys are only listening, Avalyn likes to grab the mic because it's fuzzy, and I don't blame her.
So we wanted to continue doing our treasures, and we were like, let's do it in all 50 states. But with a kid, we're like, we can't just be in a car all day, and we can't just Like, that just seemed hard, getting hotels and stuff. It really did.
Yeah, we a big motivation of our channel was to get families and friends outside, and hiding these treasures and doing adventures all over has been a big way to motivate people to get out. Now all of our treasures are found within hours when we post them online, and we always show adventures that are doable. But yeah, Avalyn, we were just worried to keep her cooped up.
And we wanted her to have a home. We wanted like something for her to like have consistent.
Yeah, we're in a different place every few days, but this is all familiar to her, except the microphone, and that's why she's super into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is home.
I mean, if this was a car, you guys would either have to be outside in the wind, which it's very windy right now for some reason. I don't know
We're
what's
parked
going
in the
on.
middle of the desert, by the way.
Yeah. Or I mean, so now she can roam around and play with microphones inside of the RV, which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
I wish I had that growing up. Microphones in an RV.
Right?
Yeah.
The American dream.
She's living her best life.
You know?
Yeah. She doesn't even know
string
it.
cheese.
Yeah. String cheese and ham
True.
And Cheerios.
and Cheerios.
So, what do you guys enjoy? Because you guys are doing this as a married couple, and you guys have the same unique perspective as we do when it comes to creating together and having a life that is about doing everything in a sort of cooperative way that serves both of you, and doing the whole marriage thing. And I would say that you guys value marriage as much as we do.
Just
It's like
a
pretty
little
important.
bit.
Like,
Yeah.
you know.
It's kind of a big
Yeah.
deal. And it's a big deal in our lives. And I think that it provides such a different dynamic to creating things on your own. And this provides a lot of wonderful things, and this provides a lot of struggles at the same time. But through that sort of juxtaposition, you end up with something really fulfilling. What do you guys love about creating things as a pair?
Or together. There we go. It's the name of the podcast. Yeah. What's like your favorite part about it?
Um,
I feel like we get to know each other really well.
yeah.
Like, I feel like I know what you like and what you don't like now.
What's his favorite color? Go.
His favorite color?
Mm-hmm.
Blue.
Is it blue? Don't
Yeah.
lie.
No, it is. But it depending on the season and the time of day, it's a different shade of blue. So
Okay. But it's still blue.
Yeah.
Does it tend to hang around a certain shade, like navy, teal,
kind of I've
indigo? Is that
teal
blue?
I've been liking a lot more.
Teal's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Teal's real good.
Yeah, we like teal.
It's
Yeah.
just a really enjoyable
Yeah.
color to the eyes.
Smooth.
Smooth.
I agree with that.
do sad.
We get to know each other more. It's like what's cool that I like about it is there's security knowing that we're going to keep creating together,
Mm-hmm.
but then variety that we don't know what we're creating together. And so because there's this safety of, oh, we're going to keep doing this, it gives us enough confidence to branch out with ideas and then see each other in different elements or different scenarios. Like sometimes our content revolves around trends a little bit, but we always enjoy our content most. I enjoy creating together most when we get away from everything and we just have time alone to talk about what do we want to create. I think a big part of our channel is the more you adventure together, the closer you become. Same thing for creating. So I like that.
That's including babies.
Including
Yes.
babies. But it's really cool looking back. We love looking back and watching our videos. We don't do that often. I don't know if you guys do.
I barely watch our
Yeah.
videos back.
Yeah. In fact, a lot of times, Nellie, if I'm editing it, she doesn't even watch it sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
That's true.
because she lived it. But when we do go back and watch it, it's really cool to be like, oh yeah, we did that. And that's
We're
why
awesome.
yeah, like
Let's do it again.
that's why our relationship is this way.
It's
So.
interesting. I never watch our videos back, and there's sometimes where while we're
Whale.
while we're filming it'll be there will be times that are super stressful because it's just the nature of the beast, and especially creating with your significant other. James used the word emotion. Why can't I speak today? Am I thirsty? What's going on?
There you go. You need some agua.
Get it?
Ooh, H2O, the best kind. But if you, what did you say?
Dihydrogen oxide. Don't breathe it in or it'll kill you.
Yeah, remember that, guys. It's dihydrogen oxide.
Very
Don't bring
important.
it in.
Memes.
But But yeah, so it's kind of tough to watch it back. Sometimes it's even tough editing it because you know what the behind the scenes was, so you don't want to kind of fluff up your life and be couples goals or whatever. But so I don't watch our stuff back, but when I do, I go back and I go, wow, that was a really good day.
Yeah.
And that's a really interesting part of being a creative couple, which is something that obviously you guys share. I feel like we're always fumbling through being a creative couple, and for some reason, I don't know why this reason is, but people think of us, not to be narcissistic, but as like, oh, I wish that I had like a creative partner in crime. And sometimes I wish that like James just went away just for like a day, just like go to a coffee shop. Yesterday he went downstairs.
I don't mind. I'm an introvert.
Exactly. So it works out. But do you guys find like, where do you find that balance in the struggle?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Nellie feels me. Yeah, working with your significant other can be a struggle, but like the biggest blessing at the same time.
I think one of the bigger struggles for us is that we do live in an RV where we're constantly... Hold on. Babies.
We have a choking baby.
It's okay.
Possible mild emergency.
Are you eating something?
She's just...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's just choking on a power cord. That's fine.
In the meantime, I'll tell you guys a story. I saved a choking baby one time. So Avalyn's in the safest hands possible, and she's just playing with some power cords, which is amazing. So...
All right, back to the... Okay, here we go. So
the hardest part of creating together is when your baby's choking.
Yeah, that too.
Stressful.
But, I mean, we don't have a vehicle. Our RV is our vehicle and our home. So I can't be like, hey, I'm going to the gym, watch AV. It's like, okay, where do we go? And we like don't have babysitters to watch her. So like even going on dates is hard. So we don't really get a lot of alone time unless we're just like, okay, I'm exercising at 8 a.m. and then I'll come back in and shower and then you can exercise or whatever. We have to like be really specific. So I think it makes it harder for us just because there really is no escape very often. And so we have to be really creative with our
That's an
alone
interesting
time.
point because when you think of the living in a van, living in a bus, living in an RV, that is one part that you really don't think about is the fact that you guys are together in a pretty small space all the time.
Always.
Like, don't you ever love like getting in the car and just driving by yourself and turning on music and you're like, oh
Sometimes
yeah,
That's one of my favorite things. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't get that.
Yeah, our biggest struggle, that's true, that if you're together, which we are, too much, there was no distinction between creating and now this is our livelihood, so creating and work. And so we're a couple, but we're also coworkers. And so the struggle is differentiating working and just being in love with each other, you know, like, yeah, I think it's good to keep it a little distinct. So
is that even possible?
it's really hard.
Yeah,
Baby is attacking a camera.
last
Baby attacking camera.
It's all good. Last week, one of the struggles, I actually had a meeting, which was kind of my way out, but we were debating about something. We don't argue. We have creative conversations. But we were arguing about something, and what was frustrating as we were arguing, I was thinking, if this is work time, if this is a job, we don't argue because that's not what this time is for. People argue when they go home from work. And it was kind of interesting because you have to put your relationship first, but at the same time, be productive and be efficient. So I had a meeting phone call. Yeah, right? I had a meeting phone call, so that kind of got us out of it because sometimes you just need to like have something that hits you in the head and gets you out of whatever you're talking about. But yeah,
absolutely. And I think another struggle can be figuring out how to separate the work and the relationship part and define those both as two individual things that need to be tended to on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Because you can do a whole bunch of the work part, and that tends to be what me and Christina will lean towards, is spending most of our time doing the work part but we neglect the relationship part, and we don't even realize it until
right
it's
before
4
we go
months of hardcore work, and then we're like, wow, we kind of hate each other a little bit,
just a little bit,
and then we have to go on we have to go get some dinner. We have to go
where you don't talk about anything creative
Yeah.
which
process
is
or work.
I think that's actually impossible. I don't know if you can actually do that.
What do people talk about when
What
they're
do
like
normal couples talk?
what do people
we get that all the time. In fact, I made it a goal that I don't talk any plans for the Jurgys except during planning meeting. But I get all these ideas, especially driving on the road. You just, the
Bryce
open road
just like
gives you
vomits
ideas.
He's just like bleh,
And it's
ideas.
it's like glitter though,
Yeah.
It's like just so good.
and then it just sticks everywhere.
It depends. If I'm like trying to nap on the couch, he's like, "Hey, Nils," and I'm like, "Ah."
Yeah. Yeah, I know. While I'm
It's
driving,
like
she gets to sleep.
golden
No.
chocolate chip cookie flavored dust.
Yeah, but
yum.
that's been hard, even with that goal of keeping it differentiated.
Dolphin safe.
And alligator safe. It's still hard because when the ideas come, I want to share it. So I think a healthy thing that we're trying to do is, hey, I have this idea.
You write it
Let's
out.
talk about it later, or I write it down,
Yeah,
and then we have, just like you have to eat and sleep, schedule time to like plan and work, and then during the planning meeting share all these ideas.
Yeah.
But you do have to plan the date nights. You
I feel
have
like even
to.
if you're both entrepreneurs or both really creative, like you guys, you really have to find a balance because, like you said, time goes by and you don't even realize how like deep of a hole you've like dug
Yeah.
of just like
Not talking to each other
Yeah,
the
and
entire
a normal
day.
person.
And that's
yeah.
what makes there's countless couples, right? But not many that create together, like you're
Right.
saying, where they're coworkers and couples and friends.
They go to a job and they come home and they spend time together, and that's normal.
And they
everybody looks
complain
forward to
about
it.
their coworkers.
Right.
But if you do that, it's complaining
But every
about,
day, all day, it's
The same.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
It's kind of
So
hard to
then you-
turn that off.
So then you complain to each other about each other.
Yeah.
And then that's when things get really hairy.
But
you
I think
turned the
just-
sink
just
on in the
started-
RV when I was sleeping, and it woke me up.
but I think the
Right.
beauty is not many people have that they're sharing or creating together as a couple, and that whole chemistry. And so
But I
If
think you
you-
guys would argue that you wouldn't prefer it any other way.
yeah, actually,
Right.
like I love having it. I do want to have I like having a creative release as well for some of my own things. Like Nellie doesn't care about some things that I'm super passionate about,
He's more entrepreneur minded than I am.
like business and different types of cameras and stuff. I really geek out about all of that. She
Every now and then we're looking over to make sure that
Yeah.
I know.
Ian is not actually driving the RV.
Yeah.
But the background starts moving fast.
And I'm like, what the?
we don't even notice. Just
And
drive.
Bryce-
Interlude.
But if you don't take the time to enrich your relationship, it becomes hollow, and I think your content becomes hollow too.
Oh, it just becomes so
good
fake.
point.
It's not really like you can just tell when it's not like there's no purpose in your
Yeah.
video or whatever you're creating because it's just not there in the relationship anymore.
That's another thing, because we struggle with this too. Do you guys have times where you feel like you don't know exactly what you're trying to do with your content?
Yeah.
Where it just feels like you're kind of just on you're on autopilot.
Mhm.
Everything's just kind of going, but you don't have a clear vision or meaning or purpose or something in you that feels like it's full of passion for what you're doing. It's just kind of like, this is what we do, and this is what we started to do, and now we're doing it, and here we are, and I don't really know what we're trying to do. You know what I mean?
I feel like we're better now because we reset, but we started our 50 state tour and hiding all the treasures, and we had a purpose, we had a vision, but then we just got so burnt out by the end that I think it was just like, okay, let's get to the next state. Okay, let's just do this.
Yeah,
and it
when
was
you
just
start
like,
saying we just got to get through this,
Yeah.
that's when you're not in a good
That's
position.
when you
you
need to,
miss
like,
out on some magic. Yeah, it's like, okay, like in my mind, I honestly thought we had to finish by December last year. It's like we have to finish the 50 states by then, and we had all of these deadlines that we had to do.
But they're just deadlines that you made yourself.
Yeah, and it stressed yourself out, and then you get to the point, and we even had some brands that we're working with that finally were like, we're really sorry, but when you go back to the intent, we want to give you the best. We need a little more time. We need a reset.
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh, life continues on and we're fine. We're good.
Right.
And then we
So-
just, everything just has a clear vision again.
Yeah.
It's hilarious because we do that to ourselves. Like this morning, I had such a to-do list last night, and then I woke up and daylight savings hit me right in the butt, and it just my body didn't work. And it's funny because the the deadlines that I'm hardest on myself on are the deadlines that I've created myself that I could move whenever I want.
Yeah.
But it's almost like I have to almost feel this pain because I wasn't disciplined and I should have shot this yesterday and had this edited and uploaded. But with that creative process, you kind of have to, like, there's structure that definitely needs to be there, but you also have to kind of let it flow. And you gotta let that creativity, like, you know, if there's an opportunity in Utah to film a podcast with your besties, then you know what? Maybe we just stay another day because we can move stuff around. But I totally get it. Yeah.
Christina, would you mind like scooting that camera over an inch?
Yeah, sorry, my daughter just
Quite all right.
Art,
likes to touch things that aren't
cool.
hers.
If you guys haven't subscribed to the
She's
YouTube
making-
channel, it's below. Go ahead,
It
James.
is. Wait,
you were
which
gonna say
YouTube
something.
channel are we talking about?
Creating things together is the thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
subscribe. I don't know why you're not.
I mean, you don't have to do anything. You
Do
can-
it.
No, like even
Bryce
if
said
you
do
don't like it, you need to because, you will die.
James, do you remember when you almost electrocuted yourself on that socket?
Yes. Was it this socket? Or
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like it was coming out
No,
of the wall.
it was coming out of the
It's coming out
wall.
of the
It's now
wall.
covered by
Okay,
art.
yeah.
So let's go back
Yes.
in the past. So enough about like creative couple struggles. Oh, poor us. We make videos with our best friend, whatever. Let's go back to when Bryce and Nellie bought the RV. Nellie just had a baby. Bryce was making videos all around the world for some reason that we still can't really know about, or else he'll have to break my shins. I don't ask questions anymore.
Yeah, I just got back from Saudi Arabia and Israel
Yeah.
at the time.
At the time, yeah. And they were trying to like get this thing going so they can leave by a deadline that they set that they were stressing themselves out about. And we were trying to install these sweet little blinds. There's blinds behind us if you guys are
It was
listening.
really hot in the RV, too.
It was
Do
really
you remember
hot. Yeah, just like it kind of is now.
that? Yeah.
And
I
James.
think that's because we're all together and our body sweat is all
Yeah.
collecting together in a mesh.
Yeah.
And
And then
I
just-
feel great.
really,
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
just saying.
it's quite an intimate experience, to be honest.
But James
I'm
stuck
enjoying
his
it, though.
finger
If you
in a
guys are
socket
feeling that.
and died for a
I
little
didn't
bit.
stick.
So
No, my
that was
arm.
fun.
My arm poked the
We
exposed,
had exposed
wire.
wires. Yeah.
Yeah.
It poked it, and I felt a little burn on my arm.
You're fine, James.
And
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
fine, it's
think
great.
I
You're
don't,
alive.
and I was like, if I had water on my arm, that would have been it. Like, have you ever had those moments where you're like,
Yep.
Yeah.
if some sort of mini event would have happened in that greater event that was different than the mini event that I experienced, that would have been the end of my life immediately.
Yeah.
But then
Perhaps.
James just rubbed it off and looked at us and said, "That ain't it.
That ain't
No.
it.
That's not
It's
it."
not my time.
Yeah.
He didn't
God's
want me
not
to go.
ready for me yet.
Yep. And then me and Christina try to find a shower curtain for not a shower curtain, shirt and
Oh,
rod.
yeah,
shower rod
we were
for
trying to. We were
to
like
hold
in
all
the
the soaps
shower. That was
forever.
weird.
True story. We are still getting a shower curtain.
Oh, party!
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what?
No,
You
the
live
shower
in.
rod in the shower. That's what we
Oh,
were trying
that
to figure
part.
out. Yeah.
Okay. I
Shower
misunderstood.
curtain is
But we're getting a
whatever.
shower curtain because we've remodeled the bathroom again.
That's exciting.
So
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
Man.
I hope it's made of
Yeah.
leather.
and mahogany.
Maybe not
we'll
leather.
look into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't mold.
Velvet shower curtain, right? With the kind of rubbery
Green.
satin,
Mm,
Oh, okay.
Yum.
like
Sounds tasty.
70s yellow, like vomit yellow.
Like that Jeep that just went by. That was like a neon.
Yeah, like a
That'd be
neon
cool.
orange.
Yeah.
I get all my indoor decor ideas from cars that pass by.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is that you guys too, or just me?
That's just you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm curious when you guys. I asked you, Bryce. I'm pointing at Bryce. For those of you who are listening, shout out to all y'all. This is just a mess.
good.
It's great. It's fine. I asked Bryce earlier. I dropped my head. Okay.
You dropped your head.
Yeah, I dropped my head. It's a mess. How you guys plan videos? I remember calling you guys a couple months ago because I had a creative drought in my brain, and I was talking about, okay, how do you guys get inspiration? Bryce told us to go scuba diving. That was exciting. We didn't go scuba diving, so it was exciting, the idea of it, but we still need to
Shame
go.
on
So how do you come up with ideas? Do you ever clash on ideas? Do you ever find moments where it's like there are no ideas, or is Bryce just a well of vast ideas?
Bryce is the most like creative person I know. Like it's like all day like vomit ideas. Like even if it has nothing to do with like what we're doing, or like, he'll just be like, "You know, it'd be awesome if we did a video or somebody did a video or they started a channel or a Facebook page and they did this and it's like, it's just everywhere. It's like everything creative.
You need to start selling those ideas.
No, really though. He probably should because it's like, well, that doesn't
DM
really.
me if you want some good ideas. I can't do them all.
It doesn't really fit on our page, Bryce. Yeah, but what if we just like, it's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So Bryce is like you said, a fountain of just like creativity.
I listened to an interview with Elon Musk the other day, and it was very similar. He was saying that he just constantly has things going through his head. He can't turn it off.
Yep, Bryce cannot
like
turn
it's
it
almost
off.
like a sickness, and that's why that's why I would say that one of the reasons why he's so successful is because there's such an overdrive of ideas and things that he wants to do, and then he pairs that with this lack of sleep, lack of resting. You know, he's one of those people.
Yeah.
And I think that
So
if
Bryce
you
is
take
Elon
those
Musk?
crazy ideas, that insane ADHD brain, and pair that with a good work ethic, you really have something special.
True. I'm trying to figure out how to not do everything still. Like if I have the idea, I want to be involved in every aspect of it. And then that means you can only be doing one thing at a time.
That means you can only give like 20% to each thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe not
So-
20, maybe more. But I'm just
Sure.
saying you can't give like 100%. You have that
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that was like a.
No, the more you
Went off.
divide up your energy. That's another thing is energy management. I've been
Yeah.
thinking about that a lot recently. Is in the world of hustle, you are told that you should have unlimited energy and that it's mental and that you of course you should sleep
Just push through it.
But yeah, just push through it, right?
Sleep. You sleep when you die.
Grind.
Mhm.
And I think that some of that can be a little bit dangerous, and I think that it
For
doesn't
sure.
quite line up with how life actually works. And I think if you don't manage your energy levels well, your creative energy levels, but also just your physical energy levels, you can get yourself into a pickle. You can get yourself into a place.
Avalyn's about to
She's
get.
got a little like mountain climbing set over there.
She's gonna get herself into a pickle.
Yeah.
This is how babies
They have like a
learn.
little
Our
carpeted
daughter's climbing over the
incline.
engine hump. Yeah. By the dashboard. So
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast that Sarah did with Peter McKinnon.
Yes.
And
I'm about to edit that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
do
is it? Maybe it was his podcast.
No. It was hers, but I'm
oh.
gonna do some micro.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hers. That's right. And he talked when she asked
She's
him
a
about
time
sleep.
traveler. So she edits and then goes back in time.
That's cool.
It's kind of
See,
intense.
I need to learn this. Put
It's-
that on Skillshare, and I will.
It's
It's
one of our
called a-
biggest strengths, I'd say.
It's called a time turner, and you just
Oh, okay.
twist it,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it's one of the plot lines to Harry
Butterfly
Potter.
effect. Is that,
No, it actually doesn't, because what happens in the time turner has already happened. It's really trippy. Text
okay.
J.K. Rowling.
Okay.
She'll explain it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
But in there, when she asked Peter about his sleep schedule, he was like, "Oh, I get a lot of sleep." That was so refreshing to hear, and honestly, it was kind of a start of a paradigm shift for me because I was driving late into the night, and was just like, "He's right. I need to sleep. I need to stop giving 20%. I need to be able to give 100."
Yeah.
So
Well,
Yeah.
and so the question, the thing that can take somebody like you or an I or somebody who really wants to work hard, but they want to figure out how to make all of the things in life come in harmony together so that you actually create productive and meaningful things on a consistent basis. I think that the question that I'm wrestling with at all times is it actually better to just go all the time
Or should you stop at
and just
certain
like go?
points?
And when I say go all the time, I mean tend to the necessities, but other than that, work is your joy, right? The other,
Avalyn's
It's
not
okay.
feeling joy. Oh,
she doesn't like that theory. Or is it better to really take care of yourself? Like to put in the time to go beyond the necessities and help yourself flourish so that you're able. I'm trying to come up with a better theory for you. Yeah, so that that time where you're working can be more meaningful and where's that harmony? That's a tough thing.
I think it's really fun watching you guys and being kind of entrenched in your relationship and our friendship. I think James and Nellie are a lot alike, and I think Bryce and I are a lot alike. So I'm very
We always
much,
see that in couples that we're around.
Yeah.
too.
The similarities.
I'm that person, you're that person.
Yeah. So I'm very much like, just go, get it done. Yes to everything. And I'm starting to say no to certain things, which is great. But
Yeah, it is Bryce.
I'm still saying yes to a lot of things.
She'll come to me and be like, hey, can you get me out of this thing?
Yeah.
I can just screw myself over.
I actually can't give that example because people listen. Anyway, so I say yes to a lot of things, but now I'm starting to say yes to certain things that I'm really interested in or the people that I'm really interested in. But it's really hard to find that balance, and it's interesting kind of chatting with Nellie because I'll hear James and then it kind of gives me that perspective of, okay, maybe I should take a little bit more of a break because James needs some rest, but it's actually Nellie that needs rest. Does that make sense?
You relate it. So
I relate it. Yeah. So it's really fun comparing, not comparing.
You want to take a nap right now, James?
Yeah, you guys.
I'm not
just-
a napper, but I'm definitely like a sit down and do.
You will be when you have a child.
I know.
James is like, I need to go to sleep at 9 o'clock. I'm
Yes.
going to be in a bad mood if I'm not going to bed.
Yep.
And if I wake up beforehand, or if you wake me up, it's going to be a bad day.
That's a little dramatic. It's a little dramatic.
No.
But really,
That's Nellie. Oh, that's our tire pressure checker. Do you
Oh
wanna turn it off?
no.
Whoa.
Are we gonna die?
No.
Is it gonna
just
blow
means
up?
our tire pressure's dropped a little bit.
Oh.
That's because
Oh.
we're sitting here.
Yeah.
That's our fire alarm, so it's fine. We could wrap up the podcast.
Yeah.
It won't spread too
Side-
much
there
by
you go.
then.
On that note,
Get on that note.
the rabbit or the bunny and then the turtle.
Yes.
Slow and steady wins the
It's
race.
the tortoise, though.
The
So,
tortoise.
Yeah.
I have always hated that
It's a
story
stupid story.
because I'm like, why not be the rabbit and steady? Like,
Yeah.
why do you have to be fast and stop and get distracted, or slow and focused? Why can't you be fast and
It
focused?
has to be like an in between, like a hamster.
So I've
The true moral of that
yes, there you
story
go.
has always been
Be
to
a
be a
hamster instead. No, I've tried. So I've been trying the last few years while we've been doing this hustle to be like, I'm gonna be the rabbit but focused.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have to stop.
Yeah.
You do have to replenish. And so, because me, I'll go, and then
I think your
I
well
hit
runs
hard.
dry
Yeah, it does.
if you
Mhm.
don't stop.
Or you
But the
keep
world
going, but you
tells
just.
you have to keep going. Like if you want to be successful, you gotta.
Yeah.
But then,
just
you,
do
but
it.
then you
Yeah.
don't care anymore. Like, people get on autopilot because you no longer care.
Yeah.
And so, watch your head, love. By taking time to pause, you remember why you care as
Right.
well. In addition to resting. you
Yeah.
know?
Like, inspiration is actually a really meaningful thing. And if you don't stop
To receive
to,
it.
to receive it, to actually watch, for example, a YouTube channel that brings you some sustenance and some nourishment and that reminds you why you're even doing this because they do it so well. If you don't stop to watch that and remember what it is that makes the content so special in the first place, I think you can lose sight of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can constantly be fighting an uphill battle. And I think I put a lot of emphasis on what the output is. Like, obviously, because what's a struggle is if I feel this way, I just need to fix how I feel. But if your output is suffering, then there's an actual issue, right? How do you strategize to make your output better? Not necessarily more, but more effective, more meaningful. And I kind of am coming to the place where I realize that inspiring yourself, scheduling inspiration for yourself is something that is going to allow you to continue to have meaningful content.
Yes to that, but that is so hard because creativity doesn't necessarily come on a schedule. I'm sure you can train yourself to, be inspired on a schedule, but sometimes it just happens and you have to, write it down instead of blurting it out. But
I'm
all of that
speaking to
also comes with especially doing it together.
Yeah.
You have to almost communicate through that.
It's like a work retreat.
Mm-hmm.
You always do something weird
Yeah.
and an activity,
adventurous or
adventurous or something, that it's almost like, okay, look, we're
That's like
meeting.
automatically bonding, and then you can. Go
Which
into
if you
your
look at it at
creativity.
first, sometimes I'm like, are we really going to do that because we're going to get this project done?
Mm-hmm.
But when you spend that time, but I think a principle that applies to everyone is if you do something new together, ideas will come.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
That's a good point.
And even if it's like something you always do, but add a little twist.
Yep.
Like blindfolded. I don't know.
Driving the RV blindfolded.
New ideas will
Yeah.
come.
I mean,
Jail time will come too.
We'll be in the
Like a
apartment consistently for, like 6 months at a time. Like we just won't leave.
Yeah.
Somehow we eat and don't die. But then I'll leave and drive around, and I'll go up on one of the higher roads, one of the scenic byways,
Yeah.
if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And the second I get up over the hill and I see the whole valley, my mind just opens up.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a really special thing. I think that you have to have that. Whoa! I think you have to have that. But the balance is really weird and it's hard to negotiate that balance with a partner, because the partner, their balance might be 90% go at it,
Which is me.
and they're perfectly fine with just getting the bare necessities of life.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Bryce does not eat food unless
Right.
we put it in front
If
of
it
him.
interrupts your flow, sometimes
You just
Right.
don't eat. Why
It'll be
would
like
you
2
do
hours
that?
later, and I'm like, Bryce, eat your sandwich.
when
No,
it's
I
better
made
to
you.
just, if it's in front of me, it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
You got the one hand typing.
Yeah.
Holding the camera.
So
Yeah.
bad.
Which is so funny because I'm teaching myself I need to stop and eat so I can be faster.
Function.
But yeah,
Nellie, if
But-
you try to operate that way, do you
I'll
die
die
inside? Like,
If I, oh, you can ask. If I, yeah, especially if
Yeah.
I don't sleep, I just am not a functioning human
do
being.
you struggle with feeling like that's a mental thing that you may need to fix?
No,
Or do you accept it?
but also
I
I'm
admire
also
your
a
confidence.
nursing full-time mother as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she legitimately like sucks life out of me. Like she takes everything like she needs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I feel like that plays into it. But no, some people just need sleep. Some people like I can go without food and not be like hangry, but some people get really hangry.
Mhm.
I think people really we're all different.
I forget to eat, and it's just I'll eat tomorrow. I didn't.
Yeah.
If it's too late, it's like I'll just eat tomorrow. It's fine. I'll just sleep it off.
but
She'll be like, I had an apple for breakfast
Bryce-
today and ice cream for dinner. I'm
There we
good.
go. I'm
I-
ready for this. You think like everything's mental. Like I figured like you just got the mic right in front of you and then you can do it. And I'm
Wow,
like,
you guys are the
I
same.
told you.
dude, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I will kill you right now. You don't even know how like
What's
I'm
tough?
so tired. I could die. Like
What's
I'm
tough
serious.
is I feel like I tell James that kind of stuff, and then I feel like a bad wife because it's like, and then I'll have to like tiptoe. It's like, hey, can we leave at like 5 a.m.? And he's like, yeah,
Humans
there's
are different.
yeah. So, but
We're all different.
you have to learn how to support that differentiality.
You know what? It's like telling a baby, like, stop crying. Stop crying. You're not, like, you're fine. You don't need food. You don't need what, like,
Yeah.
stop. You don't need your nap. Like, I know you're tired, but stop crying. We're human too. Bryce says this all the time. Like, oh yeah, we like, it's a good reminder. Like, oh yeah, we need water too.
yeah, having a baby is a good reminder that we have needs and it's not just mental,
Mm-hmm.
but mental karate, chopping all your bad thoughts. You know?
Oh,
Sometimes there's
I'm-
power there too.
No, I
Never
definitely
heard
think
that song.
there's power. Like, I definitely think there's like power in the mind, but like to an extent. Like, I can't just be like,
Yeah.
I'm a cat, I'm a cat, I'm a cat, and then I turn to a cat because my mental powers turns me into a cat.
Yeah.
Like, our bodies are all different, and so I think we just have to accept how people work and then be willing to compromise and work with them. So that's what's different about me and Bryce and you and James is that we have to find that sweet balance because you get anxiety when James wants to stop working because you, my gosh, child,
We
because
agree.
you
with
want
you.
to keep working, but then maybe James gets anxiety because like
I want to keep working.
yeah.
And-
So you just have to be able to like, all right.
Yeah.
I will work till 9 p.m. and then I'm going to bed. So we have 5 hours and then I'm done. And it's like you both are on the same.
Yeah.
Well, there's also a place for me that I find myself in where I go, I just want to enjoy, like, I want to enjoy what I'm doing. When you are in this constant state of go mode, for somebody like me, I end up in a place where life loses its color.
Yes.
Everything turns black and white, and you're,
And I just say
but
push
you're,
through
but
it.
it's like
Eventually
just
it'll
it's
turn back to
mental, just
color.
go, woo, you know.
Whoa.
But
Whoa there.
but I think there's a lot of value to continuing to look for the color in life and continuing to, like, it's not all about output. It's not all about doing.
Yeah.
Sorry to leave you hanging, James. I know in their minds right now they're like, you're wrong. You're wrong, James.
That's
Yeah.
not.
It's okay.
Well, that's what's in my head.
You're a
That's-
little
I guess-
defensive, Nels.
Yeah.
I'm
Nels,
agreeing
do
with
you
you.
feel wrong?
I'm agreeing with you.
I'm agreeing with the concept.
Yeah.
But the actual execution, when you're in the middle of it, that's when you have to.
So
I think it's both.
I was talking to my dad the other day, and he brought up Christopher Robin. Yeah, my dad's one of the wisest, best people, right?
Yeah.
But he brought up the movie. Him and my mom went and saw Christopher Robin, and he's like, "You should go watch it." And it was after I told him how I had to get all this stuff done. And he laughed. He's like, "You should watch it." I would have never gone to see that movie, but I had a flight. I was in New York actually, flying back to Nellie and Avalyn, and I was like, "Hey, Christopher Robin's right here. Fine, I'll watch it for my dad." Have you guys seen it?
No.
In it, there's a line where he says, "The best things come from nothing."
Ooh.
And what they mean is...
Lightness.
Does not compute. Does not
Yeah.
compute.
It's like, wait, but in Harry Potter, you can't create food out of nothing. There has to be... I can't remember all those rules, but you can tweet J.K. Rowling about that.
Yep.
But the best ideas come when you don't have to come up with an idea. When you're not doing anything sometimes, like brushing your teeth, showering, about to fall asleep. You don't have anything forcing you to do anything, and so your creative can sing.
Yeah.
I
and
come up with
bring
my
ideas
ideas
forth.
when I do dishes. My hands are wet and
Yeah.
I can't write them down. It's
Yeah.
so frustrating.
And so I think along with resting and whatever, you need to figure out as a couple, what's your nothing that we need to set up. Because you can't force creativity, but you can plan nothing moments.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's when creativeness is invited.
And that's what I was when I was talking about inspiration.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was talking about, was planning a river for yourself to drink from.
Yeah.
Right? You can not go to that river if you work too hard. And if you plan that, you schedule that into your day, you're going to constantly be having nourishment, and that's going to allow you to have more creativity and more meaning. And also, while you're doing the work, you feel like you're accessing a part of you that is flourishing.
Yeah.
And that, out of that, I think will come things that you can't get when you're depleted. I don't know what those things are all the time. I think that's one of the things where you sort of have to trust that it happens sometimes. You can't quite define it, but it's there. And there are times where, if you're a creative person, you just have moments where things click and make sense and they're interesting and amazing, and you go, "This is what I want to do." You come out of that doing something that you feel like was really special, and you actually really enjoyed the process of doing it. Everything was great, and it may actually change your life. Like, you may actually shift your entire trajectory because of that moment.
Yep.
And that's really powerful. If you just grind, you can miss that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Amen.
Whoa. So what are you guys excited about coming on this second leg of the trip? You guys are rejuvenated. You're back at it. What has changed? Have you changed to something? Are you just hoping for the best and maybe you won't get burnt out this time? What are some of those things?
Slowing down.
Yeah. Like,
I'm sorry, you said that too fast. What was it?
even before, for those listening and watching, before we recorded this podcast, I made a phone call and postponed plans for another 4 days. We've just told ourselves that we got to keep the main thing. And if things are starting to get away from that, if it all falls apart, at least we have our relationship and we can create at our own will. So,
Avalyn just poured yogurt dust down the air conditioning vent.
and now she's downing it
And
while it's
now
on the
she's-
ground.
Get it.
Now
Oh, yeah. Oh, she's playing with her feet.
You need to take a picture
She's
of that.
experiencing an enlightening
That's
moment.
adorable.
This is
No, really. Here.
You take a picture.
This is freeform art.
We
This
gotta-
is freeform foot art.
Yeah. And she's the happiest she's ever been. She's
You should see her scrambling for those.
Yeah,
I
she's
came over and she was like, "Nope, I'm good." It's
Babies are interesting. Okay, hold on.
yeah.
So, second leg of the trip, let's put that topic in our back pocket, right?
Okay.
The current the current topic that I want to ask on, what's up guys, is how has babies? No, just kidding. Only
Baby.
one. Like, how has that changed your creative process together?
my
and-
brain's died.
Nellie's brains died.
Nellie
we
is a shell of a human.
yeah. obviously she takes a lot of Nellie's energy, mine too, in different ways. But we are always on the go. So we just got back from Europe, which wasn't part of this trip, but time changes, location changes, getting Avalyn on a sleep schedule, all of that has affected our energy level. It's kind of forced us into structuring better and being we have to be even more disciplined, because when Avalyn goes down for a nap, that's when Nellie should be sleeping too, or myself.
It's really hard to just be like, I'm gonna nap now too.
Yeah, but it's also like, oh, it's quiet time. Now we can just like veg out for a second.
Or it's me time.
But-
I could just like read a book maybe.
Yeah, Nellie said, or it's me time and I can read a book or whatever. But what we have to do is, it's like, Avalyn's not here to distract. She's sleeping. We need to plan now.
Yeah.
And that's the push through moment. Let's push through for this 45 minutes, even though we want to do our own thing. And then that'll make the rest of our day better because we'll be on the same page.
Yeah. Gosh, planning
Delayed-
is so hard for us, and we don't even
Planning's
have a
so
kid.
hard for us. And now with Avalyn, like, because we got by because it'd be like, oh, hey, we need to plan real quick. Okay, let's plan.
Yeah.
But now if I'm like, we need to plan real quick, and
If she starts crying or she poops.
And then she like throws yogurt dust down the
the vent, it's nice. It'll just keep the air smelling like
like
strawberry yogurt in our
Turn
RV.
the heater on, it's gonna go.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
awesome.
that sounds fun.
Yeah, right.
Nothing like
New video
Slow
idea.
motion.
But so it's forced us. We got to have that structure, and we need to treat our planning. Our planning meeting times change, but it's always when Avalyn naps.
That's interesting. How do you stay focused when you plan? Because I feel like what I'll do, this happened today. So I told James, okay, what's on our to-do list? Let me know what I have going, or I'll let you know what I have going on, vice versa. So I started going through my to-do, and then I got hung up on one, and then it was actually this podcast. One of my to-dos was to plan out the podcast.
So you started planning it
So
right
I started,
then.
yeah. And then I just feel so scatterbrained. I feel like my life is all over the place. I feel like, you know how a desktop has like 1,000 things on it?
Yep.
Like there's those kind of desktops. I feel like I'm that desktop.
Yeah.
So how do you guys stay focused? Or do you guys stay focused?
If you haven't noticed, this whole podcast, I've been like, MIA. Oh, jeez.
No, you're multi-focused.
Nellie can correct me
I
if I'm
applaud
wrong,
you.
but whenever we decide, okay, here's something we need to do, like we need to plan a podcast or we need to plan our adventures for New Mexico, she will.
Yay!
She's standing by herself.
Avalyn is standing by herself. That's
Whoa there.
that's a new
Avalyn now has
development.
giant Legos.
It happened a little bit yesterday. We treat planning meetings to plan, not to do. And when one of us starts to do or to execute, so it's like, okay, we have to do that. And one of us immediately starts to Google, okay, RV parks in this state because we're talking about Texas or New Mexico. The other one says, no, we're not doing that yet. We're talking about what we need to do.
Yeah.
And so we use that 45 minutes to actually set
You just have to stay focused.
we set calendar events, and when the alarm goes off on your phone, you have an hour to do it.
Oh.
Because if you don't do it that hour, it's never going to get done. And so we try to be realistic on our calendar of like, okay, when am I going to have a potential free hour to do this? I'm going to put it on my calendar, and I'm going to forget about it until it comes up on my phone again.
I mean, realistic is the biggest part because
Yeah.
you're always like, I'm going to edit 3 videos today. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, you're not. Like, I already know that's not going to happen. You're lucky if you get one done. And not to be mean. or anything,
Our
it's
days,
just-
our
It's
days
a little
Always
always,
mean.
ambitious.
yeah. Our
Yeah.
days always start tremendously more ambitious than
Uh-huh.
they end.
Yeah. Because you've had the long sleep, and so you're ready to take on the world.
Or you just miscalculate time. You
Yeah,
just think,
that's it.
yeah, that's there. We got this. But you don't think about the fact that, you got to drive places
Yeah.
or that
Time doesn't
that
stop.
yeah, you're going to do a thing for the car. I don't know. You're going to fix your car,
Everything
and you
always-
assume that it's going to take 30 minutes, and then they're like, "Yeah, we actually have to take the motor out, put it in the trunk, and then put it back in the front. Don't worry about it." And it's going to take probably 13 days. And you're like, "Crap. Well, that's okay. Now I have to call an Uber."
Yeah.
And
That's
then you
a
have to
little
choose.
of my
Then you have to
problem.
make
Yeah.
a decision: Uber or Lyft. And come on,
Oh, jeez, wow.
like it used to be Lyft, but now it's like they're kind of dead even. So what do you do? And everything takes much more time than you anticipate it taking. So
This sounds like you have really detailed experience about this situation.
I just make up stuff in my head.
Oh, wow. What a talent. Whew, wow. Hashtag goals. But anyway, what are your, like, second half of the trip moving forward? You guys are slowing down. What are you stoked for?
We're stoked to. I'll speak for me. Stoked to meet people in every state. We've generated a following during our first wave of people that message us and like, oh, I wish I would have known you were coming in my state. So now we're letting people know in advance. And meeting up with people. And then
You guys just had your first meetup.
we did just have our first meetup.
Yeah.
You guys were there.
Woohoo!
Was there.
That was exciting. Zion
Yeah.
National Park.
Yeah.
That was our first national park experience.
Yeah.
Many more to come.
Yeah. It was
At
very
least this
special.
year.
You guys bought
You
us an
should.
annual pass. These guys are free.
You got a year to do all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've
That-
already been to two technically. Or we've
No,
been
just
to
one.
we went to one twice, so we've been to
There you
two,
go.
taking advantage of the pass 2 times.
There you go. But yeah, I think the meetups and then Walter Mitty moments where we film what we need to film and then have moments just for us.
Walter's a good name.
Who's Walter Mitty? Isn't that a movie?
Yeah, but it's actually not his moment, but the photographer that he comes to at the very end when he finally sees the snow leopard and he doesn't take the photo. That just gets
Wait,
oh my
me
gosh.
so
You didn't
much.
get a shot?
No, he travels across the world and camps up on a mountain. You haven't seen it?
No.
You love it.
Oh, you should watch
Is it
it.
on Netflix? We've got like 3 things that we need to watch
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Okay, this is part of your regeneration. It's hard for you.
Ugh.
You're all about it.
I
Dang
mean,
it.
You need to do it. It'll help you be way more effective. But he finally finds this world famous photographer.
yeah.
They have this correspondence, and this snow leopard comes across that no one gets to see. And he's going to take a photo of it, and he doesn't even take the photo. He just watches. And he's
Whoa.
like, what are you doing? He's like,
Why
some
would you
things
do
I just
that?
keep for me.
No.
Whoa!
Take the picture.
It's different. It's different. But
Yeah.
what resonates with me is that as creators, you do epic things because you need to be inspired. But sometimes you don't get energized from those things because you're worried about everybody else. And so we try to have shut off moments where shut off the camera. Let's actually live it. And then the next day when we film and we say, you guys need to do this because it's an awesome experience, we can actually mean it versus like, you guys need to do this because when we saw it on our electric viewfinder, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Like when we were worried about the frame rates
Well,
and
when you guys did the Fly Nyan, you said that there was a moment where you didn't look, and I'll quote it because I
you edited that.
it.
Yeah.
But there was a moment where you didn't look through the eye lens of the camera. You just looked at it like the Statue of Liberty through your own eyes, and it was
Yeah.
like, wow.
Yeah.
So those kind of moments.
Yeah. You have to have those moments of like, is this real life?
Mm-hmm.
Because your camera screen, LCD screen, or your computer screen, it's hard to differentiate those. And I can Google images of Machu Picchu and I can look at it from my camera and get the same endorphins. But when I look at it through my own eyes and just be there, it's more rich
There's
to
a-
me.
There's
I
a
think that
difference
applies.
in being present in creating and being present in the flesh.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think people have profound experiences. I love that we can go back and read like the journals of people who came before us, and you get to hear about how they experienced something beautiful that they experienced
True.
and what it meant to them. And what's one thing that's so amazing about it is we don't really talk that way on a daily basis. It's like, oh, you went to Arches National Park, you saw the delicate arch, and then, oh yeah, it was rad, it was awesome. And then like, oh cool, okay, by the way, so let's go get some food. You don't get to hear a poetic mind talk about how they experienced something really amazing and really profound and something that affected them on a deep level all the time.
Yep.
That's why people who are, who have poetic minds and people who are writers and this sort of thing, they can revitalize life for us is because they have that profound experience. But it's hard to take a photo, share that with somebody else, and create the profoundness of what you might experience. Or it's hard to make a video and, give that feeling. Writing is special in that way, I suppose. But yeah, it can be difficult to actually experience those things when you create all the time.
Yep.
I
There's a
think so.
dog in that car.
There is a dog in that car. I bet he's a very good boy.
He looks
Yeah.
like a good boy.
That gets me excited I have a series idea in mind now because of what you just said.
Write it down. Another thing, I guess this will be the last thing, that helps me personally. I think it's because I'm social. Dude, I just can't speak today. I don't know what it is.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
But I love having moments like these with friends where it's like you get to just chat about creativity, or sometimes you don't chat about creativity and you just chat about being a
That's
human.
another thing, conversations.
I
We don't
think
do this enough.
It's been, this kind of stuff rejuvenates me. And what's tough is it's just us that create together. We don't have like a creative collaborative co-op thing that we have, inc.com. .net. But having,
Can't find it. Yeah,
you just can't have
gotta
it.
get the .net. That's the second best. .ninja is pretty rad though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I have a Bryce.ninja.
Do you really?
What?
Dude, you
Hey.
could sell it for so much money when .ninja comes around and it's like an actual thing. But these things rejuvenate me creatively, and I need to find that and kind of discover that more. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us in your RV
Yeah.
with our microphones.
Sorry for our crazy baby.
No, she's cool.
Quite all right. It was very entertaining.
Avalyn's a homie, so it's all good. She's a tired homie. But yeah, I think this is a good place to wrap it up. James, do you have anything to say?
I think that's it.
Do you have anything that you guys are super stoked on that you want to shout out? Your channel, Instagram, what do you want people to do? Give me a good call to action, Mr. Professional Viral Video Guy.
Ooh, about us?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's a good call to action? How can people learn more about you in this 50-state adventure? How to hang out with you, be homies?
Perfect. So on everything, we are at the Jurgys. So if Facebook's your jam, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, we're at the Jurgys, and we do different content on each platform. We love to know what content inspires you and gets you to do something. So please message us, let us know what content you resonate with and what you did after watching
When you
it.
say do something like
Like-
leave the house, perhaps.
Yeah, like hopefully after you watch something, you just get the desire of, I want to go camping, or I want to go do that thing they just did, or I'm going to just drive until I run out of gas. And
And then
Maybe
hope there's a
do
gas
that,
station
yeah.
nearby.
Let's
I'm
not
gonna
But if
find
you
that
wanna do
gosh
that-
dang snow leopard.
Yeah.
find that snow leopard
In the
and
middle
tag us.
of Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find that snow leopard.
No, but that's amazing. I'll link them in the show notes below, in the description, wherever you are watching and or listening to this. But yeah, I think this is a good spot to wrap it up. James?
I think it's a good spot to wrap it up, Christina.
All right, I think it's a good spot to wrap
Rate
it up,
and review.
Bryce. What did you say?
Rate and review.
Okay. I think this is not over. If you're still listening, just keep listening because we're never gonna end it. The beginning and the end are always the most uncomfortable. It's like,
Yeah.
so
Just drown it out.
all right, so
Bye.